Well, I think it's multiple factors. Firstly, as you just noted, in Japan we hardly have any, crimes through a gun. Last year, only one person died out of gun crime, only 4 last year. So you can virtually say that there is no gun crime in Japan. But that said, this guy, this terrorist or this evil person, had his handmade own gun, which he used to blast, the former prime minister. Now, we're facing the election, upper house election, on coming Sunday, and therefore, Mr. Abe and many other politicians who are the figureheads are basically traveling throughout Japan to basically support their allies. So, obviously, you always tend to have a situation where it could be a little bit more, dangerous and very close to people. In this case, there were a lot of crossroads, which basically gave some distance. But, there are right now assessment about whether the security was tight enough or not. But again, I think the foremost reason is that, firstly, we don't have these crimes. So I think possibly, the guard might have been lower than it should be. It must be one of those typical, singular frustration, against his policies. Which he obviously will get because he's been a prime minister, the longest serving prime minister with over 2,800 days. So, that's another reason why he may have created quite a lot of enemies. But at the same time, his positive legacy easily exceeds, his negative part, or else he wouldn't be the longest, serving prime minister in Japan.
Japanese former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has died, public broadcaster NHK said on Friday. Abe, 67, had been delivering a stump speech near a train station in the western city of Nara when he was shot by an assailant. Chief Cabinet Secretary told reporters that police arrested the suspected gunman at the scene. NHK public broadcaster aired footage showing Abe collapsed on the street with several security guards running toward him. He was reportedly shot a few minutes after he started talking outside of a main train station in western Nara. Abe was the longest-serving prime minister in Japanese history, having held office from 2006 to 2007 and again from 2012 to 2020. He announced his resignation from the post in August 2020, citing his ulcerative colitis, a chronic inflammatory bowel disease. The attack on Abe undoubtedly comes as a shock to Japan, and media coverage has been extensive. Japanese media is describing the incident as an assassination attempt and reporting that Abe is in critical condition. The country has some of the strictest gun control laws in the world and has been reported crime levels dropping steadily since the beginning of the 21st century. Japanese crime figures continued to drop during 2021, the first year of COVID.